Welcome back. I just went to the post stream, and from Taiwan, I got a tiny Game Boy cartridge. I got Zelda Minish Cap, which is really awesome because I didn't have that, and now I have it, which is why I ordered it. Although it came from Taiwan, which makes me wonder if it's real or not. But find out later.
Is it on that in there, James? Is it on that list?
It is. What? Oh, probably. It might be. I don't know. I'll check for you. And also, my my keyboard has arrived. My new keyboard has arrived. The second last keyboard, FACEIT keyboard. So this is the magnetic switch keyboard. It's 60%. I do believe that Henry G ordered one of these as well, and so did Machine, amongst other people.
Why? What's special about this keyboard?
The switches are magnetic. They used to be used, the kind of switches you would use in like nuclear silos and so on, because they were more reliable switches. They come with kind of crappy keycaps. They are shine through, but they're kind of crappy, I suppose, because they expected people would replace them, and they will. I have a Scrabble keyboard on order, key set, which I will put on here. I think it will match well, but that won't be until August.
Where did you get it from, James?
This is from Massdrop.
Oh, it's from Massdrop.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Feels good.
Well,
Hand over
I feel like this show is 50% James Bardolph show and tell.
Keyboard enthusiast exhibition.
So if I remember, if I saw correctly, wait, is this on? Okay, let me put it over
now
here.
It's on.
So normally I power, keyboard for the purpose of this with one of these, but maybe it's not working with this one just yet. So I'll try it on a PC later on. But this is cool. So this is bamboo. By the way, bamboo, you think of it as wood, right? But it's kind of grass. Weird, isn't it? But there we go. So we can see it's etched with FACEIT keyboards. It's a low-profile keyboard. We do have Counter-Strike coming in a minute, by the way. It's a low-profile keyboard. I don't like high-profile keyboards because I feel like, I have RSI symptoms here, and I feel like the higher-profile keyboards kind of aggravate it with an elevated wrist. So I prefer the lower-profile keyboards.
Give it a wrist rest.
We're going live apparently, but I'm looking at my keyboard, man. So
James, you use wrist rests.
No, this you could have bought a wrist rest for this, but ironically the wrist rest is slightly taller than the actual keyboard. So interesting times. Now we're into some Counter-Strike. Cash, one of my historically favourite maps to play. Not a bad one to commentate either. NRG starting on the CT side, but the bomb is heading towards Squeaky.
So I feel like this map is only going to compound the problems of like the previous one, where we sort of saw NRG just outskilling complexity. I think that was really a big issue, and can't wait to see the likes of Cirque and Ethan on this map for NRG, and they will have to deal with the bomb going towards the A bomb site. They're playing the retake setup, very classic stuff. Dats with the smoke and the defuse, again pretty classic stuff. Yay on the very late push on the B bomb site, which might distract them slightly, but they will make their way across in the numbers onto that A bomb site. Do they have a smoke? Yes. Some teams have a smoke set up from the car to drop onto the bomb.
They do have one for the, well, they have a smoke in general. Daps often does in a pistol around the CT side, but can they get the kills? Breeze certainly can. 4 unanswered kills, and Peter is in main. Breeze will be the initial engager, but there's more there if required. Fugly going wide, Peter trying to reload, and it won't work out for him. The smoke did end up on the bomb after all, and there is the pistol round for NRG. But the bomb was planted for complexity. So this is an interesting one, because Cirque could just go USP only in this round, although he should definitely buy a helmet. Okay, so in a round like this, you could opt to go USP only, because you'd expect that your opponent isn't going to have armor, so you can just USP them.
I have to say though, like the MP9 feels really good when you use it because of the fire rate. So whenever I'm in that situation, James, I just want to buy an MP9 because it feels good to use.
Yeah, I mean, I really like going USP only in this round as the sniper for my team, for A team, and it's fun as well. It's really nice when your team are generally on a buy, and you're just USPing people. It's more satisfying.
Definitely feels good, man. And Cirque gets killed on white box, so that also sucks. That would have been money he could have spent on the big green gun.
Well, they're boosting out actually, but Breeze spots one. He may, I'm not sure if he had the sound keys for that. Perhaps he did. Okay, yes, he is looking for it. Still goes down to the MP9 though. Very awkward and weird stuff here on Cash so far. Finesse could open the door, but that's perhaps as far as he could get. Only a Glock in his hands. Oh my goodness.
That was a quality grenade.
Yeah. How much damage did that do?
About 90.
All the damage.
90 damage. I think it did 110. Finesse will die. And the round is over. Very weird one, and Cirque not really saving the money that you would have liked to have seen him save, James, after all your USP talk. So he'll be relegated to $4,200, unfortunately. And his teammates will continue on the MP9s. So not really ideal, considering that Complexity have an AWP and AKs everywhere. Okay,
yeah.
They've got full M4s, okay.
Yeah, I think get Cirque on the USP in that round, because again, I mean, it depends on how much of a risk they consider it to be, but on a map like Mirage, even more so, maybe Cash might prove more difficult, but their decision, but perhaps the risk worth taking to get Cirque on the big gun as soon as possible, because we know what he is capable of. Complexity moving for a very fast execute into the A site, and they have a distinct lack of utility here. Fugly looking deep, and now the T's know that one person is in that forklift position. The counter flashes are raining in. They seem to have a good idea of the likelihood of an A play here. In fact, they're rotating a third man over, and Cirque's playing from the cat, so it could be 4 on A very quickly for NRG.
Oof. Rotates already out. 3 men on the site, 1 highway.
Ooh. Android stepping in a decisive way. Def's only able to get 1, and Def continues to do the damage. Cirque is left. And he's having a hard time here. It's just down to Breeze. And unless he gets a very fast kill, he's probably out of here. The AWP also will be very problematic. I don't think he can really fight against it. Ooh, he's able to bait out Peter though with that incendiary, and does get the follow-up, so maybe he can go for this after all. These players are fairly low, at least one of them, as Breeze starts to close the distance. Only 18 bullets left in his gun though. Before I reload, that is. He's got to get his skates on. Oh, that could have been a fast one had he got that frag. It's a real chance. But NRG are denied.
He played the clutch really well and came close. There was only 10 or so HP on the guy at quad, and that's certainly the next place he would have looked, so who knows. No, Universe very close to ours. Breeze maybe wins that round.
What if Cirque has a sniper rifle, man? What if?
Then maybe the round doesn't come close. But yeah. The other thing is that NRG knew it was going to be A. They had 3 stacks. You know, that's a very bad sign for Complexity. It's
got to give credit to Android on his initial pick, though. Man just walked in and just AK'd people. It was really nasty. First opening frag there. Now the fight is taken towards the B bomb site, where there are 3 CTs lying in wait. NRG perhaps with another good read as to what Complexity may have in mind, but what can they do about it? What can they do about it? Perhaps they can bait for Breeze, and now the whole team is here. It is a stack in the B bomb site, and Complexity don't really have the map control to do anything about this if something goes wrong.
Complexity have to be cautious though that they don't sort of just stick around as whole positions for too long. You do, obviously, like at this point, NRG have rotated the entire team. It's not really an ideal scenario unless you can sort of choke them out with the utility. You do give them opportunity.
Yeah.
They're just holding for still. They haven't even taken checkers, which I find interesting, especially considering that, okay, it's only Peter with a Molotov. If you have checkers and you've got a Molotov or 2, that's incredibly strong.
They seem terrified. 30 seconds left. They're just hoping that NRG leave, but they are not giving up on the gamble. Oh my god, they have a smoke too. This spells bad news for Complexity. They have to jump through a smoke or go through checkers. Either way, it's a single choke point.
Ugly doesn't. Oh. Well, it doesn't work out for NRG. But it's nice to see from them, because I've always called them out for being one of the teams most susceptible to that. So the fact that they're trying to do it themselves is fantastic. It's a good awareness. And it's the intention that I like there, because it's not something you see very often in North American Counter-Strike. So that is a step forward for this entire nation. Launders, I'm happy.
I like that you speak on behalf of us. I appreciate that.
If there was one Deagle kill like fairly early, as they started, they desperation pushed into the site, the round's just like over, I think.
I mean, if they just let him in past where Daps was standing by the smoke, if he takes first contact and the headshot guy peeks up as they're all like turn, yo, that's very different.
It's like we saw a version of those events playing out where everyone on the T side survived. I feel like that's the least likely outcome of that situation.
I mean, just like on the rounds where Complexity were able to almost get upstairs on Nuke, right? Like, even though they lost that round, I still count that as a good round for them.
Yeah.
And on these 2 rounds they won, they ran into full-on stacks. And if they could see that they were stacked, they wouldn't have gone there. So obviously that can't count towards them. But Breeze gets 2 USP kills at mid, drops the bomb, picks up an AK, and gives NRG a chance in the round.
Yeah, this is really dangerous stuff. The UMP on Daps could be quite powerful. Peter must surely know that he can be in this position. The peak timing is good from Daps. He can't find the headshot he's looking for, though. And meanwhile, we've got Def looking to work at the flank here. Ethan has a good angle for it, but Def should surely check that. Ooh, he doesn't check it in time. Gets dinked down to 4. And now his position is known as is his teammate.
Oh! Send the paramedics. 25 seconds. Breeze needs to hold down this bomb. He's got no grenades. Looking for an ace. 1 bullet. Def needs 2 bullets. 27 and 1 would be quite brutal for him, but he manages to land both shots, and it will be the 2K to win it rather than the 5K.
They had USPs. They had USPs.
They had USPs. They came so close.
My God.
Almost the eco ace for Breeze.
Definitely something to review in future for Complexity.
That's some big damage when you least expect it. That's really nice.
Nice.
But still lacking the AWP that we are looking for in Cirque. Their economy just simply is not good enough. And if they want to be able to get to achieve that, get an AWP at some point, they have to make sure they don't get reset again. Complexity, so far we're sort of just a very passive defaults. They haven't really pressured into B storage at all. It does feel like they're just going to go A, actually, this round. I like this.
This default is so passive that they aren't taking mid control, and they didn't even wait for like an A main push. Like, if they took mid control, they would know that NRG are probably either going to push A main or B main, because that's what everyone does now. But they didn't even wait for that. They could have been in a position to at least get their kills right here. But now, 50 seconds left. 5 CTs with 100 HP, A main control to their name.
Yep.
Here are some grenades from the Complexity side, but again, they're going to have to fight all the way through. That might telegraph their position. See if Bugley can delay, doing his best. Pop flash off of the vet. Double Molotov. No smoke on the quad position. NRG light on the utility, and the T's are only just now making their way in that direction. Looks like Bugley wants to make a play through this smoke. Has to time it well though, because Android was spraying it. Molotov's not good enough at the back or fork, and Bugley will abuse that. 4 versus 3 as there are 2 CTs on the site, 1 in main. They have some semblance of a crossfire playing around smoke, so but that will favour the CTs on this occasion. FNS and Peter remaining. Now it's just Peter. Misses the shot towards Car, and now he needs to bolt it and try to hold on to that AWP. He is being chased though, but the round is with NRG.
You know what? Even though they just lost that round, it seems like they were purposefully waiting for the flash in A main because of the way that they ran up. Maybe they expected him to be there by himself, but it seemed like their whole intention was just to assume that NRG. I don't know how they would know that NRG weren't playing mid though.
That's the thing. Like you don't really want to play. I feel like Counter-Strike at a level where you're only relying upon like reads, like crazy reads, because that's a really heavily gamble-based play style, as opposed to actually just running a default, getting the information, then having it, you know, sort of within your default that you can branch out into the round which they wanted to do, so that it always looks the same and it keeps the CTs honest, and they're getting more information to better understand. Maybe there's a better call there that they could make along the way. Whereas, as you said, they're just super passive. They didn't pressure into B storage. There's no pressure really anywhere, unless they are gambling that they just know how NRG play, which is not optimal.
Yeah,
it didn't look great.
No, for sure. And it's kind of like, what would they do if NRG didn't take A main control? What was their play? Would they have run into another A stack, or?
Yeah, definitely. And there was so much room for NRG to push B storage in that last round as well if they wanted to. And yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how this develops. It's very early. This round we're seeing, interestingly, is at the bomb at door as well. 2 players towards the door, and 2 players playing towards B storage here. So it looks like they're going to be trying to fake onto the B bomb sites. And interestingly, NRG are playing sort of an 8 retake sort of setup anyway. They didn't really have anybody close towards the bomb site. And so NRG will give up the A side plant.
Open plant, and it seems there's going to be a late boost into the mid position to cut off rotators. Peter trying, well, starting with an off angle, but he'll play all the angles. Nice shot onto Cirque, who would love to pick up that AWP at some point. Look at these grenades flying towards the car position. Molotov and the grenade afterwards. Attention to detail from Complexity, and NRG still pushing forward in a 3 versus 5, but I think it's time to retreat. Sometimes you've got to wave the flag. No prisoners for NRG though. Time to get out of there.
So I guess here the interesting thing is just like the dynamic between the way Complexity played the round and how NRG sort of just immediately just gave up the A site, just played from car, which I'm not sure about.
I think, I mean, I personally like playing A-Site light just because retakes work really well. The site, as you can see, is kind of uncomfortable to stand on with more than 2 people, and if it's like a 5v5 retake, it's like, if you have a molly for default, that's almost 2 spots you can't stand in. A molly for quad, which is easy to throw from highway, that's the other spot, and then a molly for forklift, which is easy to molly as well. And there's like very few spots that you can stand in that are comfortable. A-main can be smoked from truck, all from cover, you know. So I think that sometimes it definitely makes less sense to actually play on the site, especially if you have the utility to retake. But different situations call for different responses.
Round number 8. I don't know if Cirque has even sniffed an AWP at this point.
He has not.
So you need a Debardov style round to get that man a sniper rifle. Let's see, 3 people in the A bomb sites at the moment. Death by the squeaky door, and we see some movement from the bomb in the direction of A. No more lurker towards the B bomb site, but as we can see, Breeze has moved up pretty deep in B, which gives the CTs enough confidence to have the forces mainly towards A.
Yeah, we are seeing a very light, or if none at all, pressure from Complexity's defaults here, which allows NRG to hold on to this setup. This is going to be devastating. Ethan's in such a strong position. They don't know anything about him just yet. They finally worked it out, but they're all dead pretty much by that time. Ethan has time to switch to the USP. So, yeah. How do you feel about that, Lawrence?
Every late round play, they've been like read like a book, basically. Yeah. So that's what's happened over and over again at A.
It feels like if they just have even just one guy, just doing the single man checkers take with the smoke, for the cross, the close molly, checking the corner of the box, like just pressure, just get rid of 4-player.
I totally agree. They need to have more layers to their onion. Sure,
Onions
yeah.
have loads of layers, James.
Yes, if you want to make the other team cry, you need to have more layers in your onion.
Maybe I've been eating some other layers.
They need to be the onion.
I like eating layers of onion. Perhaps I've peeled some and they require more.
But yes, you need to feign pressure. Yeah, you need to feign pressure and then use that as a fake, or you have to leave your options open for future rounds by creating presence in previous ones. And if you don't, then you become very predictable. And that takes a lot of foresight and a game plan, obviously. But if you're too quiet all the time, if you don't break those B windows out every single round, and the moment you go B, they're going to know,
Here we go. Now they know that Cirque is out and about. He's gone for a trot. He's climbing the mountains. Lovely pop flash. Always great to see. And Breeze goes absolutely mental. He knows there's one more outside, but he can't do anything about it. But he's surely done enough. FNS carrying the bomb, managing to take out Fugly as well. There are 35 seconds, but he needs to act fast. That said, there is a player near that mid position. So he's cut noise for the time being, but at some point he's got to run. If he goes via mid, he is done for. Wouldn't be the most ideal play for him, as he will be heard from the B bomb site should he choose to run. The longer... Oh, this is a problem now. He has perhaps waited too long. So needs not re-peak.
No time.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, he should plant anyway, just to get $300.
Yeah, but he could die.
Although, yeah, he could die. So I think he overplayed his hand there.
This is just an amazing show of mechanical ability from Breeze. The 180, all headshots. They tried to trade. I mean, they tried really hard. So it's hard to say that their spacing could have been better. The pop flash was perfect.
Yeah,
no
timing was so good.
I think there was 3 there, and then the one who was a little bit farther back was too far around the wall to be able to peek fast enough. I'm not sure. But yeah, the pop flash was really well timed, and I think that was the important part.
So, Complexity running out of money. Well, they have run out of money. And we see the pistols. Obviously,
No
Finesse
more
saves
cash.
the AK from the previous round. Cirque might have a fun round
No more
on
cash.
his hands. Smoke being tossed out there to block him, so he's going to have to reposition. And with a round like this, you don't have to really do anything crazy, as the CTs just play really safe. Ah, Cirque might still have some fun yet. Oh.
It's an interesting decision, that kind of scenario on a buy round, because you have a decision to make if you go to face people going to white box, or if you hold an angle towards the roof instead in mid, which means you're blind to the white box. Maybe someone else takes care of that from a different angle, perhaps fork.
There's potential here for damage. A lot of damage. They don't know about Def, surely. This should be an easy kill for Def. If he gets this one, there is a real opportunity to win the round. 20 seconds to go. They've got to go for the fights. That's the only issue. Have to do it with the bullets, with the shots, with the AKs that they've collected now that Finesse starts to put the heat back on. He doesn't have time to go to B. He's got to force the issue on the fights. And they're going to line up for him. The spray!
Oh!
It's going to be very good indeed. I don't think Finesse can quite believe his luck.
That was pretty nuts.
Awkward. Awkward fight for NRG. It's not safe for the second player to go towards the car position. I know FS was alone at that point, but he was too deep, man. He was in too deep, like that good old song. Line them up. And shoot them all. And that is going to break NRG, I'm sure. No, it's not. Well, I suppose a Cirque is a difference here. The problem is, does Cirque drop a gun? Because if he does, he has no money for AWP. And I prefer that he doesn't, because he's so good with the AWP and he can just kill everyone on his own. So give that man a sniper rifle.
Well said, James.
Daps taking the L. I respect that. I respect Daps.
They should just like cycle the money in a way that no matter what happens in the game, there's always one person who can buy Cirque North, no matter what's going on in the game. That's how they should do it. The Circonomy.
Trading smokes at B it's quite an interesting meta.
Listen to my keyboard.
I thought you were
This is not an
grinding
ASMR
your teeth.
keyboard stream. Okay. I bet you're going to make those videos now. ASMR keyboards.
I'm considering it. I'm considering
with
it.
James Bardolph.
Man, the spacebar feels awful. 5-5. What's NRG's approach to mid going to be? It's abandonment. They've left it on the doorstep of the hospital. But now they've come to retrieve it once again. They've had a change of hearts. They realize they have responsibilities. EA moving up towards the all the way up highway position, and there's a wall of smoke. What do the CTs do if this? Don't make the wrong decision. Buy the wall. Not the best position, perhaps. Easy spray down, and now Death is in control of the A site. However, Breeze is fighting back, and Cirque is still lurking behind that smoke.
And the bomb is going B. That's really good. They got the rotates out. They got the kills on A as well. They even have a player here. When the bomb gets planted, they might not even realize that it's B. They might try to retake the site.
They are.
And
They're
Def
still
is going to
going
be
for it.
here.
Oh, now they've quickly realized There's no beep beep. Time to get in a Jeep and make their way to BB. Android with an off angle around the vent. That's such a difficult position to get back into. One player by the tree, that's Cirque. Def going for the taps. Now realizes panic mode. Manages to get a burst in eventually. FNS dying on the site. Android now in the checkers position. Moving the pieces in the right places. And they'll take a thin lead.
That's a pretty sick round. That's like an out of the gate round that actually takes up a lot of time in the entire round, where you have to coordinate an A split with mid control and then fake to B and use your last remaining players to come in. There's a lot that goes into that, and you have to rely on people killing people at A. But with any fake that happens, you have to rely on killing people. So I think overall that was just really well orchestrated. They stayed coordinated the entire way through.
And the scoreline is starting to look pretty respectable for Complexity. Despite some of our criticisms of their T sides, I think there is definitely a lot to be desired. But they've been making it work and winning the right rounds as far as the economy war goes, just putting NRG in a really awful spot economically repeatedly. Easy frags for Def with the AK, funneling them into the doorway. Sort of funneling your keyboard.
Fine.
It's just funneling. It's incessant.
Because it feels very different to like Cherry MX keys. It's magnets. You're pressing magnets.
Doesn't feel like it. Feels like I'm just pressing a keyboard key.
We have Jesse Pinkman here, James. Magnets.
Can you not pull these? What is?
Look, we can discuss it later. Okay. Breeze with the Deagle. That's what we need to talk about right now.
Yeah.
What was your question?
It sounds like teeth chattering, like a skeleton chattering its teeth.
I think part of it is the crappy keys that are on top. But
are they made of bamboo as well?
I will do away with those. Def looking for an ace. Ooh, I like the not overextending, waiting for his teammate and moving forward, jumping on the wood and still getting one hit by Breeze. Brief highlights.
That was like during the bomb explosion too. Like his entire screen was shaking.
Thank you for that.
Amen.
That was like the simple 1 versus 2 levels of observing.
Damn, the PGL references.
5 to 7.
No. ESL's ESL.
They use PGL for that.
They did.
Why are you calling people out?
You did.
I didn't call anyone out.
I think you specifically referenced the brand.
I said the moment, I didn't say anyone's name. Oh, look at that. That is a full barbecue. That is the hot coals for the KFC executives, where they all burn their feet. Okay, well, sometimes you get absolutely ruined on B. That is a very unique start to a round. I'll say that much. How do you recover from this? Send in Cirque. Now Complexity need to identify what the rest of the players may have done, and it might be worth expending somebody towards an investigation of the A site, but they seem to be fairly confident that the rotation would come in, and why wouldn't it at this point? Ethan, top flash towards the car position. This is just not the round for NRG. Complexity are on point, and the points are on the foreheads of these NRG players.
They're getting more interesting by the round. They've got a bunch of really original stuff as well. Just kind of like NRG. Like they have so much original. It's simple stuff. Complexity's strats are actually a little bit more complicated, but also they're executing them really well.
Yeah, they're doing a very good job at this point. NRG have probably felt. I don't think they've had a moment of comfort in this game so far. It's all been rather hard fought after nuke.
It's strange because at the beginning of this half, it looked like they almost had nothing.
Yeah, it really looks awful. It looks so awful.
They saved it up.
It's just, I think, just the way that they were approaching the rounds is what really looks awful. Like, it looked like they couldn't, or didn't have a default. That's just like the GG right there. Nice. I like that too because sometimes you see people throw the Molotov for the vent or another Molotov and they don't have anybody in position to catch the guy coming out, and that always seems just like such a waste.
Yeah.
Worthwhile investments. And now it's a rush B. But Breeze is on the Deagle once again. He was close on the second one. But one won't be enough, unfortunately, for NRG. They are all out of position. Breeze the turret. Nice executes from Complexity. Molotov's on the site on default. Keeping these CTs away from close quarters, but they will force the action. Fugly with a kill from the vents.
Oh my god, what is going on? Finesse, last man standing on the side, gets just full spray, and that lands on nothing.
I was checked out. I thought they won.
Yeah, I mean, well, they walked into the B1 side. There was no one there.
Yeah.
Planted the bomb, and they still lost the round. It's kind of nuts. I mean, they lost the control of checkers immediately. That was the big problem. And then Peter got caught between two players. Lost a 1v1. AK versus the CZ. He really should have won that fight, I think. There's nothing you can do about that, but I think Peter dying in B storage, I think that's really where this goes very wrong.
Yeah, literally everybody lost their dual teammates.
Yeah.
For NRG. Could have been a really bleak half, honestly. Could have been 10 rounds for Complexity.
It's been a weird game of Cash, honestly.
Yeah, has been.
Wow, super aggressive here from NRG on the CT side in B storage. I like that. I think that's something that they should have thrown in more during regulation. Especially considering how light Complexity are with their pressure on the B storage area in their defaults. Running into A. There's the re-smoke. This is rather hopeless at this point. Peter will try to force his way in with his teammates here, and they'll both run into the flames.
Yeah.
And that'll be that 8-7 for Complexity, though, at the end of the first half.
Not a bad scoreline. It looked really bad for NRG in some of those rounds, but very much lots to fight for both of these teams moving into the second half. So let's see if Complexity can convert, or if NRG will just continue to beast the North American region for the time being.
I would be thinking about specific. I mean, these supposed to be cushion games, but I would also be thinking about the fact that we just, they have no losses so far. Right. Ooh, just don't want to have that first loss.
Yeah. How many games have NRG won already? Is it like 5?
7.
7. Oh my god! Wow.
It's a lot.
That's almost half of their games.
They're almost done the season.
Yeah, no, exactly.
18 games in total.
If you get to 8 to 10 wins, you're basically
Land.
Halfway there.
looking at land, yeah.
NRG all over the B bomb site. It's a 5-man retake with a smoke grenade, and that's it. You could use the smoke grenade. You could bounce it off to the left of below FNS to try and create some space to go towards headshot, but they'll choose that direction instead. Trying to move into the site now, but Cirque is holding things down. Angry at his lack of AWP in the first half, perhaps. Def now in a 1 versus 4. Double peek from the T's will be enough. Nice.
Nice.
Coming at your face like oil of Olay.
Look at you. With the lyrics. The man's got bars. That was Dan.
So I got bars as well.
Does that mean I'm a grass?
Smashing my bars.
Am I a grass?
What was that?
Phantom. Pair of 8s. Complexity. Can we see the money, please? Can we see the money? Money, money. So FNS has gone for the full force, and everybody else has gone for pistol, no Kevlar. Which is interesting.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I don't know if that's a mistake or just a choice.
Sometimes.
But if they presuming they get wiped out in this round and they don't buy Deagles in the next rounds, I do wonder, because then that has implications as to how equipped they will be on the buy round. So I'm very interested in that situation.
I'm sure he has a plan for what to do on the buy round, but but even with that, like whether or not he does, it's still like, what is the value of him having head armor here instead of just like not spending all his money. That's what I would be wondering anyway. I don't know what he plans or why he did that. The only thing I could think was if somebody got a gun down and he's the only one with armor, then he could use it. That extended possibility.
We see $300 pistols being bought by the rest of the team, so they basically are just full saving more or less in this round. So, but that's weird because he's the in-game leader. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. We'll wait for the buy round to see what the implications are.
Well, it's one of those rounds, isn't it? 5 on one side, 5 on the other. The bomb is down. Really, that's going to be it. And honestly, there's no real reason for Complexity to even push. Like, if you try to push in these ranges, you'll die and give away money.
You're retaking with the worst guns possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, waiting for exits.
Agreed. Wow, you've never seen a Galil do so much damage in your life.
All right then, let's see what this buy round is. Of Complexity, I'm very curious indeed.
Peter on the AWP. I'm curious whether they'll go aggressive at the beginning of the round and whether or not NRG will play very slow and passive defaults, or what their default will look like. That is what I'm looking for. But we have a technical pause. Maybe someone's keyboard is broken, James.
Yeah. So, I mean, this has always been a thing for me on Cash when the CTs lose a pistol round is what scenario they start with, and we can see the utility on Complexity. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. I think it precludes them from a number of aggressive plays, but some teams may want their money to be in the right place before they would try to do that anyway.
I think that because there's so many options that you can take as a CT to be aggressive, as long as you're not intent on taking mid control, which can be very utility demanding, then you can use a smoke and a flash to take A main, or smoke and a flash to take B main, and get your first kill really easily. And you can kind of like choose when you get your first kill, which puts a lot of power in your hands, I think. And so actually, I don't know. I don't think you need that much utility on CT side, though. There's an argument for why you want a lot of utility on CT side on any map.
Yeah, I think more utility for the CTs is better in the late game of a round, as we saw in the major from Cloud9 on Inferno with the late smokes. But this is a different map, different kettle of fish. 149. Ooh, 148. Nothing doing that. It's a funny clip of Simple doing that recently.
That clock's ahead. Hundo P.
Right then, see the setup of the CTs. There's nobody in mid for Complexity. Trusting that perhaps NRG won't be in there immediately, but you never know. So Peter will hold the angle.
The Complexity are ultra passive. They don't have any control in middle. They don't have any info in A main or B storage, except they're just in noises that they've heard.
Yeah, they're kind of just hoping.
Yeah, they're just gambling that it'll be an A hits. And NRG could walk mid for free at this point. Okay, that's going to be a giveaway.
For the NRG side. He's still got a gap in the corner. Oh, it's a cheeky one from Peter. Now he has to wonder, is that two people or is that one person? Either way, he's been forced off the angle, so it matters not anymore. Fugly moving in to that highway position. And you can smoke off the peak here from outside of A, but I don't know if those implications are positive or ultimately negative for a T side. Either way, it is Cirque alone versus 5 Complexity players. 20 seconds on the clock. I don't think he should be continuing forwards, but he may assume he's surrounded and that he has to die. We'll take one person with him, and that's about it.
They were made to look really bad that round because they were sort of just trying to commit into a pick, into a site where there's 3 players just sitting there happily with full utility, playing ultra passive, and because the lack of default from NRG kind of hurt them there, I think.
Kind of the same thing that Complexity did, where they just, like in the first half, where they just gambled.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you do wonder if it is either team having sort of knowledge of how one another plays to an extent.
Yeah, you would assume. Yeah, you would assume that's part of it.
But the minutes mark sort of delayed mid-take. It could, you can't go wrong or all too wrong with that.
Pop flash for Android to peek, see what's going on outside B. Nobody's deep, but there is plenty of time for that situation to change. In most rounds, you're going to find a lurker somewhere around the B-bomb site, so perhaps they are being invited to overextend. Zed smoke and a Molotov towards the sandbag, so NRG with the attention to detail. Ethan looking through the gap, and FNS is going to get the 1 tap. 2 more players to find though on the A site, and one's been boosted up, so that might have a part to play. But if NRG move towards A by the highway position, then they will be able to see that player in the boosted spot. But it seems to be B.
Oh, he hit him.
This could be quite tough. They've got to go in with a fast timing now. And Peter will miss his next shot. He may not get any more opportunities potentially. That's a nice flick though. He does get more opportunities. That's 3 for him in total. Was it 2 even? 2.
I think he got the 3. Oh, it was 2?
It was 2, yeah, just my bad. He got a tag, as you said, through the wall, but 2 kills for him. It's enough for his team to hold off the push. And Cirque is left last again with hopeless scenario. Bomb lost, teammates lost, round lost.
So much despair in your voice, Dan.
It's all lost, it's all gone.
It was a great round from Peter, though. The couple of bot frags there, they were. It seemed like NRG had a lot of opportunities to win here. They got the first kill, they got the B split, 2 players on the B site, no close rotates. It had to come down to the site hold, and they both delivered.
10-10. NRG down to Cirque and his big green gun, which probably isn't green. Pistoling players moving close.
Ooh, this could be fun. Going for the peak. The timing though.
Huh. Fell all the way back.
So they're playing retake on the B bomb site. They have 3 Molotovs. So hopefully for Complexity there is a plan. And they've shown us a few plans so far. So let's see how it goes. We have a flanker in FNS, and we have a flanker in DAPS as well. He may have the ultimate card to play. FNS may think he's the king, but DAPS may be holding the ace card. In the meantime, the rest will focus on the B bomb site itself. FNS's flank will have to be late, and he's waiting for it. Really smart stuff from him, very aware. And now the push comes in from Complexity, the flashbangs, the Molotovs, maybe even the smokes, cutting these players to absolute pieces. And it's Cirque now, 1 versus 3. Sees them rotating. They're facing one-on-one, but they managed to get there in the end. Death with a flying AK shot. And there is round number 11 for Complexity.
Personally, not a big fan of playing retake on B, just because I feel like it can be an extremely finicky site to try to come into. Choke points I feel like are very favorable for the guys holding, and since you can play from checkers and B main, you rely heavily on the smokes that you need to throw from heaven, which is tricky, but they clearly had a setup they talked about. I mean, I don't think he would have gone into CT and just told his teammates, hey, we're retaking B. They seemed ready for it.
He's lining up for Peter. So he's going to take one to the dome.
Yeah, this is a big issue. Breeze has picked himself up an AWP, therefore go up the ladder looking for a shot over the smoke. Ooh, just a pixel or 2 there for him though. Oh, that is fantastic from Def.
What a
and
flip.
now with the bomb down and a 3v2 retake here on the A side. Complexity aren't looking too shabby. Looking for the flank. It is going to be stopped there by Ethan. So NRG fighting back so far on this post-plant situation here on the A site. And Ethan now with a very good opportunity to close it all down. Very nice from NRG. Capitalizing on the door aggression and converting it into a win.
Finally on the scoreboard. A buy round, well, not even a buy round of this half. The CZ's doing the job, but it's only one weapon they take into the next round, so surviving with the numbers would have been huge. But winning around might be huge as well. They have ruined the money of Complexity. They're in a really weird spot where they may, I mean, 3 of them could buy Peter. You want Peter on AWP. Ooh, they're going all in on this one. I was going to say maybe they try and spread the wealth, get a FAMAS or some SMGs out there, but no, they're going for the big guns, and they'll have 2 people on pistols. Perhaps FNS could pick up an MP9 or something along those lines. It will be the CZ for him, and more utility to try and buy time, perhaps, for his teammates to get some kills, dropping some smoke grenades in the meantime.
So an interesting game on our hands now as things are equalized. Almost a gap there for Peter. Spotted now with the AWP towards Checkers. So NRG putting some pressure on towards the B storage area there. And looking over mid as well, they've got some presence towards door. Also, no one's ventured in towards A main just yet. Complexity with a fairly passive setup, except for their man close in mid. It's Finesse.
As soon as you take that shot, you know it's GG. In the complete open. 4-on-4. AWP's been collected, and it's Android to deliver the kills. So these are dangerous waters for NRG. They do not want this reset. They cannot afford it. Flank coming in from FNS with the CZ. Will he come in time though? They're starting to breach the site, although the kills are going both ways. Android finishing it off and leaving it down to Cirque. 1 versus 3, 40 seconds. Do they know where he is? It seems that they might. Android moving around the back of the forklift position, but Cirque is too fast, avoiding the forklift player. Almost no-scoping FNS, but not quite. FNS collecting an AK-47 on his way, and he'll get the upgrade to the AWP.
Good. Can I get an NT in the chat for Cirque? Close effort. Good. That double op setup seemed to be very fruitful, though. I don't think that NRG anticipated that after seeing a pistol or 2, and then also the first op. So going A seemed to just simply be, all right, let's avoid the op in this round. They seem to have forced, and they've afforded 1 op.
It's weird that in America some people say NT when it's the same amount of syllables as nice try.
It's true. I think it's kind of a meme, but
probably is. Yeah, I tend to say lol on my stream,
but
so
I guess
I hope annoys people.
Yeah, I say NT. I've even said NT in matches.
It just makes me think of Windows NT. Yeah, Windows kind of nerds.
And Windows NT sucked.
Yeah.
So
give me Windows Server 2000.
But they tried.
Yeah, you could say it's the same about Millennium Edition.
Also,
ME. It's a very good Windows. I think
it was okay for
Windows
servers.
Barely opened on ME.
But XP.
XP, there you go. That was the gamers OS.
XP was cracked.
98 SE, XP,
Played
7. The good
Monkey
ones.
Island.
Sorry.
Monkey Island and Neopets.
Monkey Island
on my Windows XP powered PC.
I played the original Monkey Islands on an Amiga 500 Plus, and with like 15 floppy disks.
Wow. I think I played Warcraft on floppy disks.
All I had on floppy disk was WinZip files.
It was a PC game, I think.
It was. I played something weird.
Boys. Back in the room. Okay. It's execute onto the A site here. Molotovs around the forklift position, but the frags will go the way of NRG. Ethan being picked off down to 3-on-3 now. Breeze with the Deagle. He's low, but the site is there. The bomb needs to be planted. No lethal grenades to be deployed by Complexity. Just a flashbang. Android on the flank and 2 people in the highway position. Peter, I love holding this angle. People always get curious. You've got to peek at some points. And AWP can just wait while the other 2 move up towards the site. Breeze now with the AWP himself. But Android's coming in from the back. Forklift position though, may keep him entertained for the time being. And now Breeze continues to move forward. Super tight angle, but surely The scope will betray him. The barrel of the gun. And the round is with Complexity.
They're looking really good for the W here. They're looking fairly consistent on these CT rounds. And it feels like they're fairly prepared for NRG and their style of play.
That was the backbreaker. They don't have much money left over, so
yeah.
One would hope, honestly, that Complexity can close this out because they've got they can at least get 14 energy you're gonna buy next round. They're spending some here. How many round loss do they have? How many rounds in a row did they lose? 2? Okay. So they clearly know that they have enough money to buy next round. But an eco doesn't mean that it's over. I think the main problem is that Complexity have a pretty good team set overall.
Here comes the push with the pistols, and there go all the bodies on the floor. The bodies at the floor, etc. Frag videos. 11 to 14, favouring Complexity. The AK is coming out once again for NRG. No sniper for Cirque. Sad story for him at the moment. But certainly a sniper for Peter. 13 for 16 is Peter at present. Def, though, big performance from him. 25 kills so far.
What I want to know is what's their response to a double op setup. They know that there's 2 ops on the map. How do they... Okay.
That's one way to deal with it. Just get all the way through mid. Don't think Peter knew anything about that one until it was too late. Cirque holding an angle on the box, and Android is indeed behind that box. Is there a grenade though? Yes, there's space for his teammate. They will double peek. He manages to get a kill. Android's had some nasty frags this game so far, but will it be enough for his team to capitalize on?
FNS stuck on the bomb site alone with an M4A1S. I don't like his chances too much here, and he's going to get taken down straight away with no trade, no frag in return. Def misses his flick shot. Incendiary area is great. He may bait Daps out here, but he is still covered. Oh, not against the HE though.
Finish him.
Yeah, so maybe there's a chance if Def can get something else going, but not looking likely.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh my god.
Thought Breeze was guaranteed that kill. But no. Yay says no.
So they can hold on to the double orbs. It's not like their money is too horrendous anyways. But
they have so much time for the defuse. Oh, but they had 2 ops that they want to hold on to. Right, right.
Yeah, I was wondering the same, that they could have gone for it.
I think there was one
they
in 4 before.
Smoke, molly, and nade. I don't know. I would have seriously thought about that because it could have been match point. Also, if one person dies, they could go back, save at least 1 op. They have money still. And it's 2v2, man. It would have come close.
Yeah, you don't need the second op as well, so it's not a must. Yeah, either way, they're going to go and roll in with the double orbs, which is something that they've been afforded by the fact that they did not go for it. So let's see if it works out for them. The money is gone for NRG. If NRG loses this round, the game is over. So...
You read that like it was out of a rule book.
Most likely it is.
Must win. Book of commentary.
I feel like I like that because it's like cracking bones.
It's weird when you're scuba diving and you crack a bone. It scares the crap out of fish. They all panic. If there's any fish around you, because it sounds like if you ever see a bull shark chewing on a tuna head, it's the same kind of sound.
I've never heard that.
They feel like there's a predator near suddenly, so just panic and darts away for half a second, and then like, oh no, everything's fine. The human is doing weird things. 1:30 on the clock, and there is presence in the squeaky door from Complexity. And Fugly, how's he got here so quickly?
There's no one in B. Is there someone in vent? Oh, he's close. Man, this retake on B setup gives me anxiety.
Yeah, but it's difficult for Fugly. I mean, they could be playing 2 people on the site, which you might assume, or 1 person in the corner, which is a blind spot, and he can't really see it from where he is without exposing himself to be bomb site. So much information to find. Peter, quick on the trigger finger today. Fugly still trying to figure out what on earth is going on. Very weird angle from Android, and he'll realize that the B-bomb site is open. Instant rotation. He can hold on to the vent now. FNS is moving in, having to reposition. FNS trying to hide behind the box. How does FNS get out of this situation? There are 2 Molotovs on the T side, but he is buying time for his team by just standing behind this box. This is a massive problem they have to deal with. Finally forced away, but there's a smoke down and Complexity cannot get into the site.
Yeah, this looks really awful for Complexity now. I'm not sure how they can do this. They're going to have to be gifted something for free, I think, if they're going to make an attempt at this, but they are not given anything, so they'll back away. Pretty odd round. It did really look like Fugly had a very strong read as to like how they're playing this. I mean, we saw him basically, he didn't even really look in the site. He just like walked straight towards CT spawn to look for the player in CT.
Yeah,
CT.
I guess he figured since he didn't hear a step for like 30, 40 seconds, they played retake on B before, maybe they were trying this again for some reason. It's really unconventional, you know, in a rifle round to play just completely like vacate the entire site. It's just not typically a site you want to retake over and over again. But the other thing is he was hyper aware of the fact that Android could have been up there, and also Android still technically had the drop on him though. I mean, see, his crosshair kind of went down first, so it's a little bit sad because after all that, Android did catch a lurk, you know, that he was waiting for. But yeah, now it gets really real because this is what Complexity aren't going to be able to buy next round if they lose, right? Ooh, dodged a very close bullet there. Oh. Oh. Oh.
The flashback might save him.
Oh my.
Oh, timing. Android did not get what he deserves.
That was so cool the way that whole like passage of play between the two players worked out. Fugly had a timing. He had no timing.
Yep.
He flashes. He creates a timing. Then there's no timing. Then creates another timing.
Fugly though.
Yeah, he's really playing around here well. He's like using the sound cues really effectively. He's reading his opponent's decision making quite well, and he's held it down by himself.
He cannot get out-lurked right now.
Now it's time for Def to shine. He's got to get multiple kills here. This is already on him. There's a nice flick to start things off. They will try to use grenades to get him out of position. A second frag from Def. Can he make it a third now as Peter is brought into the action? It is 3 from Def. Needs more, but he can't get it. It's Ethan to shut him down on the side for the 1v1. Plenty of time to plant the bomb at his feet as well. The question is, where is Finesse and can he do this?
Ethan dropping a smoke, trying to discourage a push from CT. Seems convinced that that's where he's coming from. If he crouches here and stays close to the wall, then FNS would not see him unless he specifically looked for it. But now FNS is in a weird spot. A spot that Shocks will play on rare occasion as a CT. When the roles are reversed, perhaps, because it's Ethan defending the site now as a T.
This is tense.
Moving around, creating more space with another smoke grenade. There's no kick for FNS. Moving into headshot, maybe falling in. Either way, it's going to work out for him. Playing with grenades, but he doesn't have a kit. Now he does. Not sticking the bomb just yet, and surely this is Ethan's now.
Wow. Finesse had an opportunity there. We didn't see what he shot at, but he used 3 bullets, and I really like gave up his play. He needed to be able to hit that. It was a nice attempt from Def. Got these couple of kills, actually 3 of them. But that 1v1, I don't know. We didn't see what he missed, but.
So close. 14-14. Peter on the AWP, the boost here on A. NRG with the passive opening, no pressure towards B just yet. That doesn't count, it's pressure towards B.
Maulian events. Big round for both sides. That was being very careful about his approach. Doesn't know if anybody's behind the box, and maybe there's a sneaky play like that when the situation is tight for the likes of Complexity. And Molotov will suggest that nobody's in Android's position. So they may not check this. There's a first kill. There's a second one. Oh my god, there's a third one. Flash before the fourth can happen. Dabs will gain revenge, but what a massive play from Complexity, and the bait from the Molotov was huge. But the round's not over yet. Dabs switching up for the AK-47. He is here with the bomb, and it seems like he wants to throw it out to the vent to his teammate, but his teammate's rotating around. Maybe there's time pressure. They can't go for that rotation. Can't afford that gamble.
Breeze with a quick kill towards Ye there. Daps has to push forwards with that. Looking to do so, able to spray down Finesse as they fight their way towards the bomb site. And they have done a great job here. They've eliminated everyone. It's just Def who remains. Coming all the way from the A bomb site in the 1v2. And Breeze has full HP. Daps himself 50%. So, health situation fairly good here for NRG to secure this round. With the nice incendiary, that the double peak coming in. They've got to be careful that they don't offer 1v1s here for Def as he pushes in again. Doesn't seem to realize that both players are there, and that's the end of Def as Daps takes him out. NRG 15, they may be in with the steal.
They messed that up so bad. They had they messed up the B main flash here. Andrew gets 3 kills, goes down, and then the 2v4, and first of all, they push in. Like, they push in through the smoke. The second guy pushes in through the smoke. The B main flash is what they both relied on to trade out. The oranges guy was shooting to get his attention. Daps was sitting under heaven. That's exactly where you should be blind. So someone badly missed a flash from CT.
And the cost is enormous. Def going aggressive on the boost. Surely hear him. Ethan spots it and gets the frag.
1 down, 4 remain. 1 of which is on a B-bomb site, 3 which are around A. Ye in no man's land, and that's where he will have perhaps his last stand, although Android will pick one off. Peter with an off angle towards the forklift position, needs these close quarters engagement with the UMP. So gets taken out, could have been 2. Ethan was already in the red, but he's still alive with 1 HP, delivering a second kill, squeezing all the juice from the lemon. And that leaves FNS in a 1 versus 3 with his own UMP. This is doable, but now that's his position given away, and Ethan's holding the angle of the AWP. 16-14, perhaps it should have been NRG's first loss, but it won't be. They go 8-0 in ECS.
It's a very tough loss for Complexity. They had such a great start to the second half. They had a good first half overall. And then, oh, maybe they should have gone for that 2v2. I don't know. No, but they honestly probably should have won that eco. There was a couple of chances there.
The 2v4.
But there was some cool stuff like this round, that big A fake they had. But I mean, congratulations to NRG. They continue the win streak. They showed resilience.
It's crazy because this game, to me, if I like ever think back at this game, I don't look at NRG and think that they were the winners of this game. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And this was in the 3K, creating the 4v2. And they're stuck in checkers at that point, and pretty much everybody else is towards B except for 1 player. So that's a rough showing there for Complexity. They're going to feel really bad about that one, but look at Ethan go right at the top of the scoreboard there, doing a huge amount of damage.
Very huge indeed, doing the heavy lifting for NRG. Close one, but indeed they do keep their clean sheet. So that is NRG out of the way, and we have more action coming your way after this. Liquid versus Optic Gaming. You can see the map state Inferno and then Train. That's what's coming up. We're going to head to a break, and then in about 10 minutes there will be those 2 matches to look forward to, and maybe there'll be some more keyboard nonsense in between as well. We'll see you back here in about 10.